I mean, one of these jinn spirits, actually Zagon, can turn water into wine, which I have a diagram on that as well. But I mean, sound familiar, right? As I explained before, the Bible is a grimoire and basically a very deeply encoded book. And it also has a lot of these jinn spirits included in the numerology, because numbers are simply angles of light. And the reason why the Bible is divided off into numbers is because they're using this numerology in order to call forth these different energies or spirits. When you go into the building and you worship and they put stuff on your third eye and you're thinking that you're just there worshiping, but in actuality you're being inhabited by these particular jinn spirits. Okay, this is where the legion is in religion. Religion is where they religionize the jinn, or the 72 jinn of Goetia, or the daemons or demons as you call them, which is the chopped up body of Osiris, or Satan. Okay, now jinn spirits are not necessarily inherently good or evil. It all depends on who is summoning them and what they are calling them to do. But most of the people that you see on a world stage level do have these particular entities attached to them. Okay, and they attach to them so that they can carry out different aspects. So if you're wondering how some people can channel certain information and they know what's going on in your home, or they're psychic and they have these gifts and they know, more or less what you are thinking, or they know what's going on inside of your home and they can read, is because they have this access. And when you look at this book and they talk about each of these jinn spirits, they all have their own set legion. And a legion is like an army. It's like having a whole host of bed bugs or a host of cockroaches, right? You become a part of a legion when you attach to these entities. I believe this was documented with the Bible and Jesus saying, that he was casting out some demons, and basically them saying we are legion, we are many, or whatever. But this is what it's talking about when you're talking about a legion. You're talking about all of these different parts. When you accept this, or you attach yourself through this ritual or magical rites, you basically become a part of the legion. And this was beautifully demonstrated in the movie Sinners. If you can recall how whenever something would happen to Remick, it would happen to all of them, meaning that once Sammy hit him with the guitar and he felt the pain, all of them started to shriek. Why? Because they are now a part of the legion. Just like the character Sack said, I can now read thoughts, and I can speak Chinese, because now I have this guy as a part of my legion and I can read his thoughts, meaning that they are all one mind. Okay, and you can send the legion anywhere inside of a home. The thing about the movie Sinners and them displaying the native or indigenous practices of Annie and her creating a mojo bag for protection, as I outlined in the video, these particular things that you put inside of a mojo bag are energies that pretty much repel the energies of these types of spirits in their physical formation. So when you're talking about a vampire and you're talking about, it being an emanation of a bed bug or bat bug, basically being repelled by garlic. Bed bugs are repelled by garlic. Doesn't mean that it will harm them, no, but it will repel them. Okay. Also, metals or silver is something, colloidal silver is something that will repel a bed bug. They cannot be in the sunlight. Okay, that was clearly demonstrated in the film. So you're talking about mojo bags being the energetic frequency that will repel these types of jinn spirits. This is key in order for you to understand how energy works and how so-called magic is nothing but quantum physics, or basically moving frequency in light. If you're looking at how to repel an energy on a so-called spiritual level or light level or photon light level, then you'll be looking at its physical emanation, like what repels the bed bug, what would make a bed bug run away, what would make it get out of my face, basically. And that would be the same thing as its spiritual or its light emanation, which is a vampire. And this is why you would use wooden stakes, because wormwood, which is a actual wood of a tree, actually repels bed bugs. Okay, so everything that works with the physical emanation of this parasite or this bug works in the spiritual aspect, repelling the jinn spirit that it embodies. That is what the movie Sinners was trying to teach you. It is literally a masterclass. So it makes perfect sense that if you have an infestation and these are emanations of bugs, and someone wanted to spy or know what was going on, or you yourself are a powerful light being and you came into this place and someone sent you a hex or a curse, and they sent these eyes and ears within the home in order to watch you, that these are actually a legion, okay, of individuals who do this type of magical rites, and they sit back and they collect data and information and they watch you through these different possessions for being a part of the legion. Okay, this is what that means. So if you're wondering how you could be hexed or cursed if someone, or if you have a bed bug or a cockroach infestation, these are actually ways that this legion of people that live in the regular world can attach themselves to legions of jinn spirits and actually listen in on things that are going on. Now, some of us are naturally gifted. Me personally, I have obtained Christ consciousness, so my gifts are very, I have the ability to tap into certain things. However, I am not within a legion. I just have access to the resonance or the energy or the frequency, meaning that I can get information from the source of all things, which is the light, right? Because my entire third eye is activated, not portions of light, which I believe this is kind of intellectually lazy. Some of us are naturally gifted and talented, and we are sought after, just like Sammy in the movie Sinners, for those particular gifts. And these people using vampiric energy or light angles like Baal to attach to themselves, they corrupt everyone and get them to join their legion, okay, in order for them to go after the chosen or those of us with the great light. And this is exactly how that works. There's something like the magical rites in the Greater and Lesser Keys of Solomon, which is pretty much a tetragrammaton. You're talking about the shaping of reality through the use of words and spells, and that is what this emblem on the front is. It's basically like a talisman of words that kind of shape our reality, and being able to graph out all of these, kind of gather all of the light angles and their sentience in order to draw out, using a square and compass, these different light entities, and then attach them to the brain and recruit other people. This is done through ceremonial rites, okay? And you don't know who has an attachment, so you have to be careful who you're allowing to read for you, okay? Or they're doing psychic channeling for you, okay? And you're wondering where they're getting this information and how are they so accurate. Most likely they have an attachment, okay? So be careful. So to circle back to my dream of me hearing all the people in the house, it's kind of like that. They were all different people within the dream. It wasn't just one person in the dream. It was a multiple people in the house. So when you accept or you go through these magical rites to attach these different parasitic microscopic bug energies onto your person, as they call them, jinn spirits or daemons, you basically become a part of the legion. And that means that you can listen in on the collective. You can listen in on the chosen. You can listen in on the light beings that are, these jinn spirits are basically being sent to watch or attack, or whatever the case may be. And of course they know what's going on in the house, because they are, they have listening ears. This is why people say that these things are monitoring spirits. There are no coincidences. We know, okay, exactly what this is. And this is how you join the collective of monitoring spirits. And a lot of people in the world have already done these religious rites, okay? Believe it or not, a lot of people have already chosen a side, and a lot of people have these attachments, and they use them to their benefit within the world so they can gain money, power, wealth, or whatever the case may be. And you see them on a regular basis. They're in your face, okay? And this is why you call them monitoring spirits, because they are a part of the legion, okay? And the legion is also associated with bugs, parasites, and things that can invade the home, all right? So I hope you enjoyed this message. Please like, share, and subscribe, and put a comment down in the comments just to let me know what you think of this content overall. Until next time, peace, love, and light.